Hey, this is Rick Ormsby at Unbridled Capital. Today I'd like to talk a little bit about financing and refinancing a loan in the franchise business. Over the last 4 or 5 years, the franchise space has seen a real increase in the number of lenders who are looking to place capital into franchisees and franchising businesses. Interest rates have remained really low, and because of this, borrowers, and especially franchise borrowers, now have lots of opportunity to shop their loans and look for lenders that offer the types of customized loans that might appeal most readily to them and their needs, whether they're looking to grow through acquisition, just maintain what they have and remodel their locations over time, or grow through new unit development. Lenders are typically looking at franchise brands today in tiers. And so you're going to hear Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3, and your particular franchise drops in one of these tiers based on its size and scale and profitability and performance over the last 4 or 5 years. And what tier it's in typically effectuates what lender is interested in it and what terms they're willing to offer. If you are a borrower or a potential borrower, here are some things to consider. Interest rates are obviously at the forefront, and they are typically fixed, floating, or a mixture of the two depending on the size of the deal. You're going to hear things like LIBOR plus 200 to 400 basis points, which means that floating rate loans right now for Tier 1 and Tier 2 concepts are typically in the 3 to 5% range depending on the brand itself. You're going to hear a little bit about terms too, and depending on how big the loan is and what brand it is, most of the larger franchise loans are now 5 to 7 year terms, necessitating the need to be able to refinance your business every 5 to 7 years. We're in a slightly rising interest rate environment, so now's the time, if you haven't done it, to consider doing just that. We have covenants, and so most lenders look at lease-adjusted leverage as their most critical term to be able to look at that calculation, and then they lend the total proceeds of their money against a business based on that. And we see covenants like pre- and post-distribution fixed charge coverage ratios as well. You talk a lot about covenants, and we also talk about personal guarantees, and that's a component. Whether you have a personal guarantee